Alrighty, hello, greetings and salutations. It is that time. I've got pretty much the crew in here. We're good to, we're almost good to go. Um, yeah, hope y'all's having a good old whatchamacallit, a good old day. Um, but yeah, like I said, we got everybody here. Give them, we're gonna round out the pre-game, and we're gonna fire up in a sec. All right, all right. Whoop, whoop. So, who can recall what happened last time?
Or last couple of times.
Well, let's not log into my other games Foundry. That's the wrong one.
You're doing Foundry behind our backs? Leg gasp. In a server that's
Yeah,
probably functional
Leg gasp. Leg
and not
gasp.
you'd be.
outdated.
They did in fact do the big update between seasons. I'll have you know though, functional is I shouldn't say that it works, but I'm gonna show this to the group party because I have to look at it every single time I go to it. And that's the other D&D group. Well, last time on Dragon Ball Z,
Or maybe 2 times ago, if you can recall, since some of us were too busy having a life.
I
wow.
know. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wrong.
See, my brain got smoothed over by the horrifying experience of first having a tick bite and then having Rocky Mountain
Dude,
spotted
I just
fever
had one too. Are you on?
worries.
Oh my God, I'm on massive doxycycline and it's just my stomach is raging. That's crazy. You had one too? Jeez.
In my hair, in my hair, in my hair.
Oh God.
Zombie,
That's upsetting.
zombie.
Ate my brain.
I'm seeing that in real life too.
Speaking of
So
zombies,
I need a hint. Mm, God.
well,
Well, I think 2 weeks ago was when Neovara and Veldrin found the boxes.
Right. We had so
Boxes.
it was still the case where Marlin's everything of Marlin's things had been destroyed by a little let's say peacocking that Veldrin decided to do for dearest Gumdra Scumdra's like,
Well,
"Oh, can you cast magic?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can. Watch this drive. Let me cast a spell that impacts the entire group, including our
Oh, no.
mouths. In this jagged cave, nothing will go wrong. Pinky promise." And then, of course,
Mhm.
everything went wrong when the goat spooked and
The goat
bucked
what?
us all. The goat
Oh,
spooked
buck.
and then bucked us all off. Oopsie. Well, we had come to the decision that, like, Opal can probably keep fixing it up. We just need metal fixings, and wood to replace the broken sections. For a mending spell can only do so much, right? You need other materials to help with it. So, Niavara and Veldrin had wisely decided we're going to go look for wood. The problem is that the terrain is, como se dice, steep. And the highest strength score in the party, minus Sari, of course, who was not here, is I think a 12.
Oh.
So, climbing is not our strong suit, one might say. We did, in fact, find a tree, but we had to climb to go get it.
we used spells. We burnt three stone shape spells.
Yeah, we burned one in order to make an axe, and we burned the other two to create handholds up. And then Niavara is like, "Hey, not to say that we did not mean to use those spells, because like it was a perfectly good use of resources. My constantly prepared dimension door would have just gotten us up there for free. One spell.
Oh.
But think of it this way.
Hindsight.
If we had used dimension door, other things later would have become more difficult in a very funny way.
Because other
But
people wouldn't be able to climb.
yeah, or they would, but it would be very bad. They would have a much harder time of it. So let's think of it a bit positively. We didn't waste resources. We were being caring to our party of non-strength friendly people.
Preparing for the future that we didn't predict.
Correct. Niavara secretly had an augury behind our backs. Behind her back, even. Oh well. So, they climb up, they go to this tree, and they're like, just beyond the ridge, they see an abandoned campsite.
Oh.
At that abandoned campsite, they go, "Well, damn, if that doesn't look interesting, don't mind if I do." And they climb down and, start raiding the place, as one does. In the campsite, they find boxes of spoons.
Utensils, not just spoons.
I think if it was just spoons, it'd be funnier, but yeah, it was utensils. They find a music box. They find a rock made of a very similar material to the place that we just were, and a necklace that has a very large dragon scale on
Nope,
it.
those are two different items. There's a necklace with a claw and a really large dragon scale that's been bleached.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. The Niavara made the horrid assumption that, oh god, did something happen to our dragon friend that we just met after finishing the puzzle? Did he come to a horrifying short end?
No one could determine because all of our rolls were bad.
Correct.
Oh.
And further, like, the information would have been difficult anyway, as the talon was a talon, and the scale was bleached. And it's not like we got a good look of the guy anyway, because he was, like, clothed in shadow. Ooh, mysterious. How's someone gonna identify your corpse? If they don't know what your face looks like. What was
Didn't
the
that
other half of the
music
group doing?
box have
The music
something
box played a
interesting?
song that we were familiar with, but only vaguely. Two of the items were labeled with the letter M. The music box and one other.
The utensils.
Okay. What was the other group doing? The other group was Zedrin Kozik, not Opal.
Opal was there one of the days.
hmm So the other group was doing something else. What were they doing?
I think at that point we were all at like back at the wagon with Marlin and just kind of like assessing things. And I'm trying to remember what prompted us to go
Up there,
find the two of you.
there was the big snake-like creature that was coming,
Yeah, but I
and there was some
forget.
ruckus from that.
Much
Yeah,
ruckus.
maybe we had heard yelling, or there was some sort of. I'm forgetting exactly, but at that point, Gum, Zed, and Kozik had started to make their way toward the two of you, and Kozik had kind of split off. Gum and Zed had climbed up the same way that you would put the handholds. And yeah, we had this interaction with the snake. So at
He
that
was
point, we were
scared
all
of Tia Moonblade. He spoke in Abyssal. None of us
Which none of
spoke.
us knew.
L.
Oh.
He seemed fearful, though. That's my high insight score guess. What else?
well, we had
We'd started fighting and then stopped
we had
fighting it.
attacked it. Yeah, I think Gum and Zed were a bit hasty. I think Gum had gotten
A couple hits in.
some sort of, yeah, and then gotten attacked back in some sort of way. Because when Zed showed up and could see that Gum had been attacked, so he was just, all right, we're fighting now, not realizing the situation. And then it was kind of like a turn later, everyone was everyone else was saying stop attacking, we're going to try and communicate type thing. So and it was Niavara
Hmm?
that went into that you like changed shape into Tio Moonblade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it was
Was
just
that the
like
snake?
the Yuan Ti that we've come across before. And so the snake that had already been attacked and was now aggressive in the presence of Tio kind of shuddered and cowered away and just left us alone.
Wow.
And by the way, this was a massive creature, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that was a big moment.
Oh.
And then last session, there was turning off the little robot that was found in one of the boxes, because that was the ruckus that you guys heard, was it being like, intruder alert, intruder alert.
Thank you.
Oh.
So there was a box that had some mechanical parts in it, and as soon as the box was opened, these parts almost instinctively put themselves together
Oh wow.
and started an alert. And so that's how the rest of us were clued in. Thank you, Vel. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was told these things were important, so I have committed them to memory. um, After turning off the robot, there was the little rabbit that had been kind of
Teasing us.
like well, Kozik was seeing it, and it was kind of trying to lure him. And then the whole party followed this little rabbit. And turns out that's not what it was. And
Uh-oh.
Veldrin found this out because the rabbit jumped into its burrow, and Veldrin wild shaped into a rabbit to jump after it. And it was a monster, and it bit him. And
Oh.
then we defeated the monster.
Wow.
I think that was kind of. I don't remember much
What kind of
happening after the
monster?
fight. So the rabbit is kind of a lure that the monster uses, and it looks like there's a dead tree that has a rabbit hole in it, and the rabbit is able to like leave it and walk around and lure people back to it.
Okay.
And it was just kind of like a tree that we fought.
And then the
Oh, and
tree
then
became the monster?
the whole thing was the monster. The tree and the rabbit were the monster.
Okay.
Yeah. And
But he was using vines to like wrap people up, and it was pretty nasty. It was definitely a surprise.
yeah. And then after that, seeing where we are in the map, we went back and we were able to chop down the tree.
And now we have our wood. And also, we probably have all the metal needed to make the fasteners for the wagon.
Oh wow, okay.
Happy accident. We found what we needed.
And now Sari's back so she can do her little smithery magic.
Yep.
Many attempts at chopping down the tree, mind you.
Yes.
My God. No comment, Your Honor. Oh yeah, Zedrin. It's important to remember this. Zedrin was flopping at it, and so Niavara was being like, she was jibing him. She was like, having a bit of a laugh, having a banter. And he's like, well, if you're gonna say that, like, why don't you do it? And she's like, okay, you don't know. I never said I was strong. I never said I was gonna be good at this. That's why I was asking other people to do it. But if you insist, and then I flopped harder. Again, it's it comes back to the problem of none of us in the party have a strength higher than 12 other than
Oh.
Sari.
I'm so sorry I was gone.
It's funny. It's very funny, actually.
It actually made for it was a good scene.
So much so that even little one tried to help.
It was all hands on deck for sure.
All right. Righty. I think that pretty much surmises, gets people caught up.
Awesome, thanks. So now we're just there with wood and with metal things, and now we need to make parts and fix the wagon.
Well,
Is
I
that
mean,
where we are?
we're picking up right as they had felled the tree. So the scene basically opens up back at the tree that has finally been defeated. and the four of them over there probably contemplating how to get this over to the wagon now.
Did we have any, for clarification, when we chopped this down, did we have complications or like outside of what we've already mentioned? Did this fall on Kozik?
Nope,
I'm
we
just trying
already
to
made that
remember
roll
real
to
quick.
determine which direction it fell, and it didn't fall on anyone.
Q.
I'm kidding, Kozik.
No, I mean that's
Um,
par for the course. That's fine. It probably would have fallen on me.
It would have hit. It would have hit multiple other people before you, probably, given the height difference. Anyway, um,
Sure.
yeah. So, how big is this? Is this tree that we have chopped down?
It's big
So you
enough.
can. It's big enough. Okay. Um. And we are 15 feet up on this
Yeah.
sort of ridge.
Yep.
Okay.
The tree is
What ridge are
definitely
you
bigger than
talking about?
15 feet.
What ridge?
Where we
So
are on the map.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
ridge. Okay.
We're up 15 feet where this tree is. We've chopped it down. And there was rope tied going down to the right. I don't know if we've collected that yet. If not, I think Zed would try to fashion it to the tree in some way to.
How many pieces of rope do we have? I have none.
Like, well, I've got quite a lot of rope actually, and then
I've got some too.
Well,
string,
sorry he's
but
not with us.
I
I'm not
don't
with you.
think
Okay.
this is gonna help with that. You feel like if we fashion it and we all just kind of give it a tug, we could at least get it down the hill?
I think that if at least two of us stood up here and lowered it with the ropes, it would work.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, okay.
In theory, like, I'm fine to, throw myself off this little cliff with
You can
some
also
rope.
climb down.
When I say throw myself off, I mean use my body weight to help drag it over.
What I was imagining
Well,
was tying
I
the
don't
rope
want it
to
to,
the tree,
yeah,
holding onto the rope and pushing it over the side and lowering it with the rope.
right.
Yeah, that's
And
probably
then
safer.
hopefully it doesn't crush anyone down below.
Or break ice.
Oh,
Or
yeah, we gotta.
shatter into pieces.
How? I guess getting. Is there a way that we could maybe? I'll say it in character. Should we possibly like cut it into sections?
I think that is something we should do once we get it to Marlin, unless it is too heavy for us to handle as it is right now.
Right. Yeah, if you feel like it's gonna break that ice, or be unwieldy in any other way, maybe even just cutting it in half. Got two bits instead of just one big one. Or
Well, let's see, just as we try to move it towards the cliff, how hard that is. That will
cubed, I
tell
guess.
us.
Is you said this is more than 15 feet
The tree
of tree?
of tree. So yeah, it's definitely more than 15. Because it was just because you remember it was just kind of barely poking over the top of the cliff, but it was like an up and over kind of situation. So it's probably like 20
Hmm.
feet because you're able to just barely see the tippy top of it.
Okay. Zed is going to um take his dagger out, and from where I'm assuming that there's branches and things that are coming off of it. Um he's going to try and start felling those off just as much as possible. Just all the little ones. That maybe they're wrong. Anyway,
The little
um
ones.
Mhm.
um but seeing that this is about 20 feet long, and we've got a 15-foot drop, he's gonna try and like fell a little bit of these branches, but look to Vel and Kozik probably. Um, like, what if we just turn it and then we just went one nose down, and then we could almost just walk down it. Once we get down to the bottom, kind of more or less just pull it, and the rest is gonna roll off the hill.
The issue is it probably weighs more than us, and making it fall makes it heavier because that's how it works, and it could bust right through the ice, which could cause bigger problems.
Looking around, is there any other thing up here that we could use as a potential anchor uh, with our ropes?
Based on where
Big
you are,
rock or
it doesn't
something.
appear so.
Okay.
I mean, there's a stump.
There's a stump.
Like
Okay.
you guys didn't pull the tree out, roots and all.
Obviously. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, but I'm getting some so Zed's going to we've got this rope, and as Vel's mentioning wanting to lower this down, um Zed will hand Vel the rope that he had pulled up from the other side. I think it was like 50 feet of rope that you guys had already set up.
Yeah, Niavara's rope.
And like, if you want to see if you could fashion anything with this, I'm gonna try to make myself heavy. And he's gonna pull out his own rope and tie it around his waist and wrap it once around the trunk, and then tie the other end to the tree in hopes that he can use the trunk as a bit of leverage to lower this tree.
If we are wanting to use more magic, I do have a spell that's going to be very handy right now.
You got a spell that can put this trunk down or the tree down on what are you talking about?
I can enlarge and reduce the size of things.
So you're thinking about making me massive so I could just
Mm.
grab the tree and
Or we can make the tree small, move it over,
Ah.
make it big again.
That.
If I'm bigger, I can move
Right.
it.
Oh, hold on
it,
now.
it's not that crazy. It just makes, like, if you are medium, it makes you large.
Kozik, you want to be the biggest dwarf of all time?
What? Not particularly. Why not just make the tree smaller?
Okay, fair enough.
For the love of the game.
Although enlarging the little one, that does seem to be that could be merry sport.
That's slightly intriguing, yeah.
Yeah, we could play some sort of round ball game or something. Who knows?
Feature or not.
That's for another time, though, perhaps.
Ah,
Sorry, little one. I'll be your biggest supporter. Win it if it happens. I'm the man in your court.
yay! He throws his hands up in the air, or his claws. So what's the plan?
Well, first, there we go. He's gonna walk over and touch the tree and make it smaller.
Alrighty. Well, there's no saving throw for a tree, so
It just is.
must be neither one. Target's
I
unwilling.
Can you
imagine
imagine?
I imagine that the tree just like rapidly shrinks smaller and there's like a puff of snow as the branches like sink in and become small.
All right, so if it's 20 feet, I calculate something. So like 20 is like a colossal creature. So if we were to reduce it, it reduces by one category.
Yeah, it says like the example is from medium to small.
So that would drop it to Gargan. Huge.
Huge.
So it would be 15 by. Well, if you're using like a creature, right? Gargantuan would be 20 by 20, which the tree itself is not 20 by 20. It's just the height is 20.
Mhm.
So that would effectively drive it from Gargantuan to huge, which would make it a little bit easier to handle. So that would be 15 by 15 feet. So you've reduced it a category. But as
I
part of
think
that,
that's
it also would
perfectly-
reduce
Would
the
it
weight.
be gargantuan? Because huge creatures range from 16 to 32 feet. They just have a,
Oh,
a
so
20
it'd go
by
from
20 foot
huge
base.
down.
Huge to medium, maybe? Or huge to large?
I was trying to look up the math on this too, because I was really interested. Like, what happens when you cast reduce on a tree?
I mean, most importantly, it's the weight difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has made this easier to work with, which was the goal. Well, it didn't make it bucket sized, but it did a lot to help because that is a lot of weight gone now.
It definitely is smaller. Yeah, let's see if we can try and, lower it down a bit.
Veldrin will take the rope, the Niavara's rope, and tie it around the trunk of the tree as well as the stump.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so Zed, wherever Vel's like if it's if Vel's tying off the trunk, Zed would tie off kind of like the opposite end so that we could lower it down, hopefully
Evenly.
flat, like horizontal. And he's also got his rope kind of like wrapped just one loop around the trunk. Just giving a bit of extra anchor, I guess.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. So
Mhm.
you're tying, getting some, tying things off, tying people that, tying people off as, counterweight, I suppose. And so you guys trying to lower it now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Preparations complete. So whoever is going to be the main body who is lowering it, feel free to roll a athletics.
Do you want to, Vel? Nice.
Brushed it.
So you with all the counterweight, counterbalance, all that, you slowly and carefully lower it, which it's probably handy that you reduce the size of it because that is still a significant, even though it may not seem like much, but it is still a significant weight difference. 5 feet of solid mass is still 5 feet of solid mass. And you hear a very satisfying like clunk as you can feel the base of the tree or the felled tree touch the ground with no other sound. And there's probably even a moment of silence where you're just like listening intently if there's like ice breaking or cracking, and all you hear is just that satisfying just little thunk as one side of the trees at least nestled upon the ground.
And it was the heavier side.
So now you sort of have like a leaning log. And that leaves the other side, which I guess Zed is tied to.
Yeah.
So I
You want me to
guess.
do
Yep,
check as well?
athletics. So 14. So you start to, thankfully part of the weight is already distributed on the ground. So that helps a lot. Is a good bit of the work has been very carefully handled. And you manage to, with a bit of heaving, a bit of heave, a bit of hoe, a bit of sweat, you manage to get it to lower to the appropriate altitude. And there's probably a moment of like listening, like, is anything breaking? Is anything cracking? And no, it was a little bit louder of a thunk, but it doesn't seem like anything has been, it doesn't seem like your plans have been hindered. And as all that's going
Aye.
on, the camera pans over to the wagon, of which Opal's busy mending what she can, so she's completely and utterly unresponsive and busy with her work. Marlon is at this phase, he's lining things up, kind of like helping Opal as he's like holding a piece in a like where there's some broken like wood. He'll like hold the piece there while Opal like mends what they can, because keeping in mind mending is a minute per cast, so he sort of has to hold things for a good bit while what basically fixing what they can, because mending still has a limiter. So they're busy. Temporalis is busy reading a journal, being not helpful, and minding his own damn business. So what is Gum and Sorry doing? Is your compatriots are probably off doing something. You can probably you can probably hear it eventually at some point. Whenever at whatever point in the scene you would like it to occur, you'd hear a like thunk of something heavy over yonder. So it could be at any point during the scene, but you guys kind of have the floor.
Well, Sorry's getting a really good fire going. To make some charred wood first, so she could have some charcoal to then make a fire so she can do some smithing and make some replacement parts, the metal parts that we need. So she's busy making that happen.
Oh, and did she change her armor out? Because I remember there was a whole thing about the leather armor versus.
Oh yeah, she's not letting that happen again. She's got all her armor back up.
Okay.
She's not going to let that happen again. Yeah. She's
You
back up
can't do
to it.
much sneaking if you're wearing that much armor, right?
I know, but last time she got caught only having a 13. How do I change that back on there? Or do you do that, Cube? Oh, here it is. Change armor class.
No, so it's
Oh, you change it.
under your inventory
Oh, inventory.
where it has your equipment on.
Okay.
So if you're trying to put on like the scale mail, you will go to like the little shield icon, and you'll equip it or unequip it, and that should dynamically update your armor class based on what
And
you
then
have
take off the
equipped.
other one. All right, there we go.
And that's why we were like, why is your AC still 18? Is because we put in a custom number and we weren't basing it on the actual equipped gear.
Oh, why does it say 17? Aren't I supposed to have 18? I've always had 18.
Yeah, we changed that because that number wasn't accurate.
Oh, this whole
That's what I'm
time
saying.
I've been
So
18.
your AC is now properly calculated.
Oh,
2 from
I
shield
like the 18
and the scale
better.
mail.
What is is the chainmail? Does the chainmail have more?
You can click it and see.
Like, just click the shield?
Yep, click the little shield to equip it or unequip it.
Okay. Chainmail has 18.
Yeah, I think chainmail has a flat 16 AC, and then you have a shield. They'll give you +2 to make it 18
Right.
total. That's probably your best
Yeah.
set.
All right.
But yeah, no, I was saying that in character, you're making this fire. I'm just sitting down on the ground. I've got like a little dagger out, and I'm like, just kind of like picking at my nails with it. I'm squinting at you because you're making a lot of noise now that like you got the chainmail up, your whole, that comes with the disadvantage because it's a little loud, right? And so
No,
that's what I
dude,
say in character.
I'm an elf though. I'm so quiet. You don't
Well-
even hear me.
Well, your armor is not an elf, so
Is the chainmail that much louder than than the
Yeah, it
scale
gives you
mail?
disadvantage on your stealth.
They both do.
They both do.
Oh, they both do. So it's not any less. Okay. It's the same amount, same thing, disadvantage on both. All right.
I'm just saying, if he was in
I'm
leather,
being
you wouldn't make
noisy.
so much noise.
Yeah, but last time I was oh, are we talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but last time I was in my leathers, I didn't have enough protection, and I'm not getting caught out like that anymore.
That's true. You're not too swift, huh? Without that protection, you're gonna take a little bit of a beating. See, I don't have to worry about that because when things try to stab me, I just step to the side. Just
Well,
squeeze.
I'm glad you found a good way for yourself that keeps you safe. But myself, I find myself in the middle of the battle, so I'm going to stay as protected as I can, and then I can help protect you and everyone else.
Why do you think that is?
Right?
Why you got this need to protect people? Is it psychological? Something happened in your youth or your past, and now you just got to protect people?
I'd say it's just my nature. It was the way I was brought up, and my mentor helped me to, kind of instill those values even more. Just bottom line, it's just the right thing to do. If I'm only worried about myself, uh, I don't know. I kind of feel like, well, what good am I then? I mean, I'm not judging anybody else, but for myself, I don't know, I need to be useful. I need to help. It's just in my nature and how I was raised, and it matters to me to be that kind of person.
Okay, I was just curious. I feel like we got to fix this wagon up. You got the campfire started. We'll make sure that I'm gonna like point towards the goat and like all the people behind us, right? I guess we'll keep watch while everybody else is. What do they do? They're cutting down trees and getting.
Right?
They're
Don't
not
we need
getting
some
firewood.
planks or something like planks to help the wagon? I think they're trying to get wood for the planks of the wagon
I don't
that are
think they know
broken.
nothing about making wagons or how to manufacture wood into anything useful. Like, I have no idea what they're going to bring back or how like the
Well,
problem
but they
solving
know
that's
we
going
need
on in their
wood.
heads.
They
Mhm.
know we need wood, and that's what they're doing, right? So that's good.
Does anybody know any magic spells that just turn wood into planks?
Oh, now wouldn't that be good?
That'd be good for business. I bet there's goblins out there would know how to do it.
I wonder if they've got any spells that can do such a thing.
Or wagon salesmen. You think there's any wagon salesmen just adventuring? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they walked into camp right about now. A wagon mender.
Can
I
we?
don't.
Mhm.
No, I'm uh, just trying to imagine how would we make some. I mean, if they're making a whole, if they're getting a tree or any kind of log, it's gonna have to be made into planks of some kind, right? To fix the wagon. So I wonder now you've got me thinking like how we're gonna do that.
I think we should just put a band-aid on it and do the minimal amount of work required to get going and then just leave whatever left is here. Because I mean, it could take us weeks to properly fix a wagon, don't you think? Especially because we ain't got the tools for that.
Right, but even our minimal amount of fixing's got to be good enough to you know, get through this area, and so it's still going to take us a bit, I think.
And you know whose fault this is, right?
Well, I'm not too worried, but if you must, go ahead.
Well, I'll give you a hint. It's the person what blinded the goat.
Right, but as I remember, he was a bit encouraged by other folks.
I was splashing water and I threw an icicle at a mountain and I said, "Top that." And he went, "Give me 5 seconds. I'll blind everybody here." I mean, it was impressive though.
Well, exactly. He was
breakfast.
just trying to impress you.
Yeah.
Did he impress you? He did impress you.
I
So
mean,
good for
he
him.
did. Yep. Just means more work for them. And I look. What is Drow guy? What's he doing?
Enjoying a book.
Is that
Yeah,
book
he does
pretty
a lot
good?
of reading. That one does a lot of reading.
Does he?
It's better
Why
to
is he
be
even with
educated.
y'all? What's that story? How did y'all meet up? Why are y'all even? He don't seem to do nothing.
Well, we kind of rescued him from a. We kind of rescued him, and then he kind of helped us get out of a situation that we were all stuck in. So he's kind of been hanging out with us since then. And he's definitely helped us a few times, even though for the most part he can't be bothered, but
He does.
he's
So
been
as you
helpful.
say that, he does like the internet meme, like removing his glasses with just like very nonchalantly, and looks over to you guys talking about him, and he says, "Well, you keep saying you have saved me, where I was the one keeping a very unwanted character from getting to the realms. If anything, you saved yourself. You are welcome." And then he puts his glasses on with like a single finger, just sliding it back up, and then goes back to reading.
Is there any accuracy to that? Or truth to
Well,
that?
like I said, we've kind of helped each other out, whether he admits it or not.
I mean, anybody can just, there's snake oil salesman that comes around and he's like, boy, if my uncle hadn't have drank this, he'd have died. And who's to say otherwise, right? Because you either believe him or you don't, right? It's his word against whose.
Right, and everybody's got their own perspective too, haven't they? I mean, that's his perspective.
Who
Got a
was
little
this
different one.
otherworldly threat that was going to end all of everything? And if it wasn't for him, then everybody'd be screwed.
Well, you have to ask him about that.
Oh, so you don't even know. It's just an unknown threat that he possibly made up.
No, I think it was real. Um, well, I guess I didn't actually see it in action, but well,
They
you're gonna
also
have to
have
ask him.
a very terrible memory because you were there
You
fighting
were
the exact
100%
things
there.
that were coming out of the portals. And this is why I love my reading. And he just buries his nose in his book even more.
Yeah, I think you love your reading so much that you're mixing reality with fantasy there. That's all right. We'll
Well,
get you
I
where
may
you're
have
going.
forgotten a bit. I mean, we've
Hmm?
been doing a lot of things. I may have forgotten a bit, so he might be right about that. Um, now I'm remembering as he says that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it is cataloged in anybody's journal or anything.
Maybe you should keep a
Right,
journal.
except yours.
Indeed,
Oh, does he have a journal?
Hard to imagine someone that reads so much not writing a bit too.
he smirks, but says nothing.
All right, well, I'm going to stretch my legs and see what that loud noise was, I guess. Somebody's got to do something around here besides read. Wouldn't want you to get
Well,
up and have to do any work or nothing.
Oh, thank you,
well,
brave adventurer. You have saved me from a life of hard work and sacrifice. I am grateful to have you here. Please go and partake of investigating the situation while I continue to not do anything of a relative importance.
Yep.
yep. Well,
He
I'll
said it
keep
all.
working on the fire here, which I think is of importance. So you go ahead, see what they're doing.
Like, I remember the location. This is where I got
Yeah.
attacked by that thing. I'm just going to stand down here and watch.
Yep, and you see them like lowering pretty much. How long does this last again? It's supposed to last 1 minute. Yeah, so you guys kind of had to do this pretty hastily. Veldrin shrinks it, and then Zed like has to lower it. I mean, for the purpose of narrative, we'll say it lasted longer than a minute. Like this is kind of sort of a scene. Like if it were like an NPC, then I'd probably say, okay, it's affecting something else, but it's an inanimate object, so we could say it lasts long enough for you guys to like properly like anchor and lower and do what you gotta do to get down there. And as the log is lowered, yeah, I'm not sure if anybody's. It doesn't seem like anybody's jumped down yet, but there's a log on the ground.
Yeah, Niavara will quickly follow. Now that the log has been slotted down on the ground.
Yeah, I'll climb down.
Nice and safe.
Do I have to make a roll to climb or anything?
Nope. I mean,
We
if
made
you
those
jump down,
nice
maybe.
handholds.
But if you have the handholds, no.
Yeah, I think Zed's gonna kind of wrap up.
Oh,
rope
break
is
your
still-
leg.
Tied to the tree, I guess, but he's gonna wind it up as he's climbing down as well.
See, I could have done that.
Yeah, you could have jumped down, little one.
That too. All right, so Veldrin and Zed are jumping down.
Yeah.
Everybody, basically everybody jumps down.
Yep.
Boop. Yep. So that wouldn't take too long. So the log is still in its, shrunken state.
And we
But
have a limited amount of time.
yes, you do.
I'd like
So
to
it's
come around the
called-
corner.
It's
Mhm.
called Book It.
What's the limited amount of time? Oh, the size.
It's a
Okay,
minute.
right.
I'm
It's
just
called
gonna
Run,
I'm gonna
Boy,
do a
Run.
little clap while they're hustling down this rock side with this tree. Y'all got maybe the perfect size tree for this. I really thought you was gonna overdo it and overshoot the the goalpost here.
Don't
But
worry about it. Don't
this-
worry about it.
I'm just proud of you. I'm just clapping and saying good job. Teamwork
Aye.
makes the dream work. This
Zed's
is
gonna point over to
perfect.
Gum. Speaking of perfect size, hey Gum, come over here and help us carry this, eh?
Yeah, Comfort, you're just the perfect size to carry this.
The strongest.
That's a
Oh,
little
God.
rude. I think Kozik's the strongest, but I might be second or third.
No, Kozik is not the strongest.
Have you seen him?
Yes.
I'm gonna shake my head. It's not a height thing. He's strong. Dwarves are strong. All of them. Remember, he didn't
they're
punch
not.
a hole through a wall with just a pickaxe.
Nuh-uh.
He's strong. Yeah, I'm not gonna say he's not strong, but you
I'm gonna say
Well,
none of
hey,
us are
you guys
more
all
than
do it
middlingly
together.
strong. Best.
I'll take any equivocation as a compliment. Thank you.
Anyway, run, boys, run.
Do we have to roll anything to drag this log across the ice?
Athletics from two people. A person probably holding the front and a person holding the back. And if there is assistance, then if there are other people like assisting with it, then we'll say those two rolls will be with advantage.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
show
Zed-
you.
Zed will assist for sure.
Assist Kozik.
Yeah. So yeah, roll with advantage.
So roll it one more time. So a 14 from Kozik.
Okay. Yep.
And who's the other?
Is Neovara going to? So Veldrin has a +1 on athletics. What does Neovara have?
0.
Is she going
I
to
think-
assist?
I think Gumdra's the other person that is, or Gum is the other person that's carrying between Gum and Kozik. So
All right, yeah, I'll pick up the other end.
Does anyone want to assist Gum?
Niavara is not going to be of assistance.
Veldrin will help.
If anything, Niavara is a hindrance.
Veldrin will help.
Now, how are they carrying this?
Violet can
Describe
always
how
do
you're
that.
carrying it so I can like match.
Well, the interesting thing is,
If only
the
Violet was here.
tallest and the shortest person or people in the group are the two that are carrying this. I feel like,
Well, I guess I'll try to hold it above my head, kind of as if holding up, like a prize trophy or something. So I'm holding
yeah,
it
like
my arms way up.
I'm gonna
Zed's
do the.
assisting. Well, Zed's assisting Kozik. So if we're talking about it being a literal, um, uh, then yeah, Zed's kind of like bent over, maybe with like it resting on his back, and then Kozik's kind of like next to him, and he's got it lifted up, and he's just they're just kind of like walking side by side.
And so Gum takes up the endeavor. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do for the backside. Sorry, it's a little bit busy here. I'm gonna straddle the tree and just get one leg on each side of it, and then try to hoist it up, like because I don't have any specific like tree carrying capabilities. But this seems right. And Velda's assisting, right?
Yes, Vel's assisting.
All right. So I get
Advantage.
advantage. 18. Ciao.
All right. So between the two of you, albeit, Kozik, the height difference does have an effect, as it kind of puts a little bit more weight on Kozik's shoulder. But he grins and bears the brunt of the force, and you guys start to carry it on over.
I can imagine that extra weight on Kozik's shoulder as we're walking. Kozik's just kind of like said, "Are you helping?" It's like, "Oh yeah, mate. I'm definitely helping."
You're doing the thing where you have like your thumb and forefinger only holding it. You're like, no, I'm helping.
Yeah. Like, I got it.
No, you
You can take
this
a
is
rest
such a
anytime, mate. You promise.
Oh no, that's fine. I've never shirked from labor in my life. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Don't want that. So you carry the old Logaroo. Let me get over in time. And whoop. Just as you get it close to the campsite, suddenly it gets much heavier. And larger, back to its original height and weight. Which at that point probably becomes a bit too much for Kozik. Especially the dynamic weight
me?
shift. They didn't have to
Yeah,
go
I
that
feel
far.
like it's we kind of like roll it off of our shoulder as we're, it starts to enlarge again. No, you best not be under that, mate.
True enough. True enough. Now it's Mr. Marlin's turn to bear the weight.
And
Why'd y'all get a tree that's bigger than the wagon?
This is
Baby
the
girl.
closest tree that I could find when I used the spell to locate a tree.
Baby girl, look around with down eyes, and do you see any goddamn pieces of wood around?
Okay, that's a good point. Just thought just a lot
Yeah,
of work.
a smaller one would have worked better. Where?
Most of what is around here is barren and stumps. This was the best we could get.
Is it the best or is it the first one you found?
Girl,
The spell says closest. It was the closest.
do you see another?
Well, why don't you use your
Are you-
spell work, see if you can find the second closest?
On the
Are you-
opposite side of
Why are we
that
looking for another one? We got a
handheld?
big
That's
fucking
actually
tree
pretty
right
smart.
here.
On the opposite side of that ridge over there, and Niavara is pointing to where they just came from, is a big fucking crevice into the fucking abyss where a goddamn giant snake came out of. I would rather not keep exploring here. Would you
Well,
like to
certainly
go
this-
meet the big abyss snake?
The snake, I just thought of it now. The snake might actually have wood and things to use in there.
Oh, you think?
Yes,
With its
snakes
big
who
old
very
teeth?
Maybe.
famously
Very
snakes who
famously need tools.
live in wood houses.
Very famously, they're very handy with hammers and nails. And they love to make wooden structures. Girls,
Hell, I can't vouch for the creature's craftsmanship, but they might have some extra lumber lying around.
how? How would they
Okay.
acquire?
Looking for extra lumber. We got a big ass
We have a
tree
huge
right
ass
here.
piece of lumber.
Are we back? Are we back at camp so that Sari's
We're coming.
here with you guys too?
Yeah, we're all
Oh,
here.
You
okay.
see us.
We've
That's a
come back with
fantastic, fantastic
massive tree.
tree. Nice job, everyone. That's fantastic. We'll have plenty of wood to fix that wagon.
we got enough wood to make a new wagon.
Yeah. Niavara bows, and she's also like, and we have some metal that can perhaps be transformed into, you know, the fastenings that were broken and lost. She
Excellent.
takes
Well,
out
I knew
some
you'd
of the
find something. I'm working on the
utensils.
fire for it already. I knew you'd find something.
We're a crafty bunch. Hey, Marlin, did you say that there were any other travelers that came down this way?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that do this journey without some kind of guide.
Set up a camp over there, she points.
I mean, it's not unheard of that other people have come through and set up camps. It's not
Do
the
you know
most
any of-
hospitable of environments to try and traverse, unless you're well experienced, I guess.
Do you know any of the other guides?
I mean, I come across them every so often, once in a while.
We found an
Like,
abandoned
do any of
camp.
them have your same name, or maybe their name starts with the letter M?
Or they're you.
None that I can remember.
Veldrin has the music box. He's gonna pull it out. This music box plays a song that Niavara and I remember, which is very weird to find out here.
Well, strange things happen out, fairly traveled mountain ranges.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, good job on getting us some of that wood. I'll get to working. Let's see here, and he walks over to the tree. Yep, yep. And then he
I'm going to
goes
ask
into the
if you need
wagon.
an axe.
So he'll like go into the wagon. He'll shuffle through like a couple of crates, a couple barrels, and he'll pull out like a little hatchet and just some tools. All right, I'll get to work. And he just kind of sits down next to the log and starts like cutting. He seems like he's starting to like try and cut into smaller chunks. Um, stripping bark where necessary. It's gonna take him a little bit. You just see him just kind of getting to work.
Zed is going to kind of mosey over and see he's seen how Marlin works. He knows that this is going to take time. He's going to look around a little bit and potentially kind of like lock eyes with Niavara. And in the sign language sort of thieves can't. Oh, should we just go? This is going to take a while.
Something with your hands and stuff. What are you doing over there, Mr. Thur?
Hey, yeah, Kozak. He's gonna kind of like put his arm around
Hi.
Kozak and kind of pull him close a little bit and lean down and whisper, I feel like we'll be here for quite a while, mate. I've already been here for too long. What are we doing?
Right, I'm not sure I look forward to another night out here on the ice. But I guess we have to hang around and protect him. Otherwise, I'd say we should probably go ahead.
He's gonna kind of turn based on where we're if this is where we're all standing, he's gonna kind of turn around, put his back toward the cart and Marlin, kind of shift arms from one arm around Kozik, kind of like turning to put the other around Kozik and still kind of like pull him in close a little bit. He'll look over and see Gum like standing off a little bit in the direction that he's glancing, and he's almost kind of looking at Gum, maybe a little bit past Gum, and whispering to Kozik very, very quietly, I we were trying to get to Chronosis days ago. I'm almost wondering if, well, we are definitely getting distracted from our goal.
Well, that may be so, but I don't know. Didn't we all decide to take the long route anyway? And I mean, this seems kind of consistent with the long way.
we've decided to take the long route 3 different times, and it seems like we're just getting longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, how long is it going to take to get off this mountain?
I'm curious if we'll just, I mean, nothing against Mr. Marlin, but if we cut ties with mate and just found our own way to Chronosis, I think we'd be there by tomorrow.
That may be taking the short view. I mean, he has gotten us this far. We wouldn't have known to get through the caverns and such. That might have taken a lot longer. Hmm. I'm not a fan of of breaking a contract, or I don't know, somehow it feels a bit backhanded.
Aye, well, hey, we pay him for we've been with him for a few days. I'm not saying just leave him with nothing, but I if we're gonna be here while he repairs an entire wagon and we're paying him day by day, and then we're not even close to Chronosis, then yeah, how long are we gonna be? You know,
Well, I think we should definitely sleep on it. I don't think we should make a rash decision in that regard, but all right. And I'm kind of looking sideways at at Mr. Thatcher, like, okay, something seems a little devious about this, and I'm not sure what. Although he hasn't said anything untrue or has said anything really strange, but this is a little crafty.
he'll kind of stand up a bit straighter and make his voice more present. Yeah, I'm just trying to get on the way, trying to get to Chronosis, right? As he looks around to everybody.
I hear that.
Yep. She's like staring daggers at Zed right now because, like, he just admitted he was like looking off in her direction while whispering to Kozik for 17 minutes. So I don't know what was said, but I'm suspicious.
We're gonna get there, Zed. We're gonna get there. Don't worry.
Just soon as we carve us a second wagon out of this tree you generously provided.
Right, and it's kind of our fault that his wagon's all messed up anyway, isn't it?
Well, it's one of our fault.
Zed's gonna pull a coin out and flick it up to little one to get a little snack.
Yum, 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 yum. Well, if we gonna be here a long time, you said you were gonna show me how to make poison.
Is he talking to Zed or Niavara?
Does it matter?
Yes.
He's saying it. He's just saying it out loud.
Zed's gonna okay. Like, well, all right. I guess it's time.
Is there perhaps a
And
simple poison, maybe like an itching powder or something like that?
yeah, I think I've got one in mind. And so he'll kind of step away a little bit. There's a fire. Sorry,
Yeah,
you made a
fire's
fire.
right. The fire's right
It's like over here.
here,
Okay.
kind of between me and the goat, right over, right in here.
Zed's gonna come over here,
You
against
have
the
the tools
wall,
to draw
kind
like
of
a little fire if you want.
sit down, and then he has his poisoner's kit. He's gonna pull out his poisoner's kit, but he's also gonna pull out his thieves' tools. And in trying to it I don't know, the little one wants to learn how to make some sort of poison or mess with poison, right? And that's something that Zed knows how to do, and he's, I guess, willing to teach him. But one thing that Zed is really good at is picking locks, and I think he's going to try and incorporate kind of like two skills into one, if that makes sense. He's going to teach little one how to make some sort of poison, but in doing so, he's going to be showing him the thieves' tools, kind of like using them to poke and prod at certain things, or stir or whatnot, and just make the thieves' tools also relevant. And he's not teaching him how to pick a lock quite yet, but just getting the thieves' tools familiar as well, if that makes sense.
Wait, so you're trying to teach him how to make poison using thieves' tools?
No, I'm teaching him how to make poison, and I'm like introducing thieves' tools in a very nonchalant way. Like they're just there. If that makes sense, like he might, if he's, let's say that he's going to point at something, he might take one of the tools that he would use to hold a tumbler and use that to point, just to like incorporating, I don't know, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but just kind of trying to open little one up to Zed's world without forcing it. Just having these things be present. So maybe he picks up on it.
Well, we'll see. So you give him a TLDR on poison making.
Mhm.
Whether or not he retains that information, that will have yet to be seen. So what's Veldrin and Neovar doing while Marlin's chopping the wood, stripping the bark, setting it aside? He looks like he's like making planks and whatnot as best someone can in the snow with kind of makeshift tools and not a workshop. What are
It
the my
happens.
fault of?
Neovar is just sort of watching it all play off, right? They're doing the work.
Veldrin is going to take the music box over to Temporalis because he's like, this guy does stuff with time. He might be able to reveal something about the history of this.
All right, so you're gonna go bother Temporalis, okay?
Hmm.
He is enjoying his reading, something that you of all people would probably have a level of understanding.
Hmm. Veldrin is going to, because he had taken it out to show Marlin, he's just going to walk over with it in his hands. And Temporalis, I understand that you do not like to be bothered, but this has been bothering me, and I figured you could help. This music box plays a song that both Niavara and I remember, and neither of us could place it. And I would like to know what is the history of this item? Where does it come from? Is it from our childhood, or is it just coincidence?
He slides his, his bifocals off as if a bothered parent would. And you kind of walk over, just like, yeah, what's this do? And he's just kind of taking on the just kind of almost like the rolling eyes without rolling his eyes. It is a music box.
I understand that. I'm asking about the history of the music box. You do magic with time.
So you assume that I know every object in history. Wonderful.
No. I assume that you could do magic that could reveal something about it.
Hmm. You would think that. You can give me an insight check. You know he absolutely does. Yeah, like he's you know that he is capable of, probably casting identify. But he is also not wanting to waste the energy on it.
I have something of yours that I took.
And what would that be? Hmm?
Help me and you'll find out.
You mean the amulet that you happened to take? That was cursed? And then I fixed it for you?
No, there's another thing that I took.
Sure. Sure. But I think that would have to be something that will have to be figured out tomorrow. As you have used your once per day useful temporalis.
Mhm.
He
I
gets
think
grumpier and
that what
grumpier.
I think that what I have would be something that you would want back. Considering when we left, you had mentioned something, when we left your tower, you had mentioned something about your magic or whatever needing to be destroyed.
Yes, important notes and important information that could lead to the ultimate destruction of a realm.
Hmm.
Things that I am very aware have been removed. What good mage would be worth their salt if they were unaware when their very important objects were taken, stolen, and destroyed?
Destroyed.
Yes, like I said, I had to destroy all information that could be used against. And then he does like a wide hand gesture against everybody. Have you forgotten Mr.
With
Marn in his drive to acquisition information to invade and become a much larger pest?
with that, Veldrin is going to like check in his bag because he had taken one of Temporalis's spell books, and we had joked that it would have mend butt crack and testicular torsion in it, but he did in fact take one of Temporalis's spell books.
Mhm.
Is it still there?
Nope.
Veldrin's gonna smooth over the like looking in his bag and put the music box back in it. Fine. You owe it to me tomorrow.
Indeed. Tomorrow. And you will, I am certain, use up your one use for the entire party. Hope nobody gets exploded.
We've been fairly good in the department of not exploding.
His eyes slowly shift over to the mostly destroyed wagon. Yes.
Well, that was not someone, that was something.
If you wish to differentiate that much, sure. The end result is the same.
Thank you for the help earlier. I understand that the helping is apparently something that you don't want to do, but I appreciated it.
Yes, it is not like people came into my tower and then decided to make a joke of my work. Yes, definitely not. I do not hold a grudge. I do not. Definitely not. And with your 24, yeah, no. He it's a case of forgiven but not forgotten.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, by appearances, when we were in your tower, it looked as if the spell was wearing off.
Yes. There was only a limited amount of time.
And so it is our fault that the spell wore off.
Considering everything that happened, it could not. I study time. I can manipulate it in some aspect. But there is still much even I have to learn. Which is why this Chronosis seems so enticing to me, as you claim they have quite a vast library.
That is what I've been told.
Then I will get to measure their information based on what they have, and if it is even useful. But in this current moment, at least you can rest easy knowing that we share a common enemy.
That we do. I do want to know, what is your dealings with Marn?
Like I said before, I had much notes and research and study of both what I do and to some degree how I get here. How well I got here. For somebody who does not have this information, and thankfully never will, well, it could have been vastly a hindrance for everybody else.
Well, yes, but my question, Marn wants Zed because Zed took something. Why are you interested in Marn? What is your goal?
Me personally, I am not interested in him, he is interested in me.
For what reason?
My research.
On time?
Imagine if you could pulse time, giving you plenty of, time to muster, plenty of time to acquisition forces. Or if you could freeze an entire army opposing you, while your forces run them through, and then continue time as they have already died, before they even are aware. That would be my speculation. Or he simply wanted my research on the traversing of different realms.
Do you know about the Obsidian Lord?
I do not know what that is.
Interesting.
And in the background, you hear chop, 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 clunk. And you'd see, like, Opal's helping. So, helping with the laying out of the planks, lining them up, getting them nailed in. Pretty much just a work, work, work. So, and Marlon he stands up straight and takes a breather for a moment. So, y'all's, dealt with all the dangerous critters around here, right? So anybody else coming through here won't have to worry about them. The silence is deafening.
Oh, I'll talk for them. They seen a snake and they got rid of it. So yep, all the dangers of this world have been defeated and conquered.
All right then. Wonderful. Last thing we need happening around here is any other guides or travelers getting ambushed by big nasties.
Yep, or small slithering ones.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon they could probably deal with small slithering ones if they're small.
Well, they
Snakes.
don't have to no more. They defeated the snake and they said it went into a hole that was endless, right? Isn't that how y'all described it? Like an abyss?
Well, as long as it's gone.
How many days do you think it's going to take before we get that wagon up?
I reckon by the end of the day. Don't worry, old Marlin's got this covered.
We're going to travel at night, or do we need to hunker down?
That's up to y'alls.
Right, well, this was the place pretty much where you were saying we shouldn't be at night because things were walking around. So
Yeah, but it
I
sounds
mean,
like all
it's
the
up to
dangerous
us.
things have been killed off, right? Based on what Gumdra said.
Hey, you're
Oh,
the
it's just gum
guide.
now.
Sorry, what was that?
I said you're the guide.
Yep. But like I said, if y'alls have dealt with any dangers, then we should be good to go.
Well, what about that horrific bloody mark that was left on the that face of that stone?
Wait,
I don't know
y'all.
that we dealt with that.
Oh, well, if you didn't deal with that, then maybe it's not good to travel at night.
Well, should we make a place to defend or something like that?
Hmm.
Marlon, they ain't got no fur. If it snows on them, they're dead tonight. They ain't got no place for warmth or nothing.
They can hunker up next to Bessie. Let's see.
Y'all all
Well,
right with that?
let's see.
Hmm.
Based on the
I'm looking a little
terrain,
chagrined.
what I've seen, yeah, there might be a spot I can think of we can hunker down. And he like looks around, sees where he is, kind of taking in the scene a little bit. And he points over to this little section up here. That seems like a pretty enclosed area. I reckon we could settle in over there. Have pretty good eyes on the one way in, one way out. Probably throw a tarp over that area, maybe.
Well, at least it's a plan.
Or we could rest up now while you fix the wagon, and then we just move on tonight and don't be scared of cats.
I find that also pretty appealing, and I kind of straighten up a little bit. Huh.
Because think about it, right? We ain't got no cave here. We're talking about what, flipping a wagon on its side and sitting on it, and there's ice under our butts, and we put a canvas over our heads to block the 3 feet of snow it's gonna snow tonight. Just don't think we're gonna have much luck with it. I don't think we'll get no sleep. I think we'll be cold and miserable, and 2 of you are gonna die. Probably sorry on account of all the metal armor she's in, and it has the least warmth.
No, I've got really good undergarments. I'm really good.
All right then.
Nobody else got no opinion?
I feel like we might be able to travel at night.
Why do we need to travel at night?
To get out of here?
Or else we spend the night here.
Well, we've got plenty of wood. We can just build the fire up nice and big and sleep all around the fire, and it'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah, we got plenty of wood. We could just build a fucking house here and we could just live here forever.
I mean, that is
I
true.
don't.
You did kill this poor tree, and we're gonna use barely 5% of it.
I just don't see the point in traveling at night,
I'm not
especially on
trying to
such uneven terrain and
I'm not
whatnot.
trying to give you too much shit. Sorry, I'm just really trying to get to Chronosis. I just we've been we
Why?
keep
We've been trying to
because
get
that's
there for months, mate.
where we're trying to go. Yeah.
It's only been a week.
It's been months, but we're gonna get there. We just have to. Um, I've had a nice chat with Merlin, and I'm fastening these pieces here, and we're gonna get that wagon done, and gonna get a good night's sleep with a roaring fire, and then we'll take off first thing in the morning, and we'll be there in no time.
Did you hit your head or something? Not you, sorry. Zed.
What?
You just been acting a little peculiar. Nope. Nobody else seeing this? I don't know. I feel like you're being a little hurried. Feel like you're
He
a
is
little
all of a
more
sudden a bit hurried,
outspoken.
yeah.
You're teaching your dragon how to smoke and cook poison. Like, it just seems like you're different today than you was the other.
I got my hands
not-
in my pockets. I don't want to betray the confidence.
not teaching not teaching little one how to smoke. Someone else mentioned a pipe before, and but hey, I don't know.
Isn't he a baby? And you're like, hey, let me teach you how to cook poison.
I've been the only one that's trying to protect him from learning all about, you know, never mind.
No, go ahead. We ain't got nothing to do, literally, to this wagon. So
Yeah, that's a bit of the problem. Is we're just sitting around and we're not going anywhere. What if that big old thing that smacked into that rock comes back here while we're sitting here?
Well, couldn't we
good
just as
point.
likely run into it if we're moving and then if we're not moving?
I'd rather be moving.
Precisely.
Just not see you so worried about getting there so much. We've made plenty of turns off the journey away from Chronosis, and now you're just like, you got to get there tonight.
No,
But
I'm not
I hear
saying we
you
got to
about
get.
monsters, but
No, I'm not. It's because it's all the diversions. It's all stacking up. We keep taking steps toward the place that we're trying to get to. But first of all, fuck it. Do we even want to go to Chronosis? What if we just go somewhere else?
mate, we want to go to Chronosis. We've been trying to get there for months. We're going to
Not too long ago,
Chronosis.
you were trying to suggest we go to Kyrie.
Yeah, because we had the opportunity. It was at our
Not really.
fingertips.
Not really.
Well, I'm pretty sure, he looks over at Neovara, I'm pretty sure we had figured out some sort of way that we could have gotten there.
If we had lots of time, and apparently time has become a concern.
Has it become a concern?
Well, he's in a rush.
Who's in a rush?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll just, don't mind me.
See what I mean? I think something bit him and he's done went sideways. Restlessness, you think?
Not too long ago, Neovara got taken over by the dragon, and it convinced her to put together all of the puzzles and free the dragon. Maybe Zed got put under the influence of something.
Yes.
Is there a way to test that?
No.
Well, you've been through it. Can't you ask him some questions and then figure it out?
I'm
If
sitting
he's
right
being
here.
influenced directly, he'll just lie. Because the dragon will want to, cover its tracks. We're also assuming
But if it's
dragon
not
are
a
still
dragon,
benevolent.
it could be
Correct.
the big creature we've been hearing.
Yeah. And
What
again,
are
we're
you all
assuming
on about?
benevolence.
I've
Don't
got
worry about it.
manipulated by something because I want to get on the way to the place that we're trying to get to, and you all are trying to rest. And what?
Is that you suddenly care?
Suddenly?
Right. And
It
Are
wasn't
you
a
getting
concern. It wasn't a
claustrophobic?
No.
concern before.
And it's just
I'm
one more day.
pretty sure that before we went back to the cave, I was willing to go through the night to get to Chronosis. And I also said that I was willing to bait out whatever that fucking weird giant thing was so that you could all run. I've been wanting to go.
Well,
I've not been
listen,
wanting to turn back every
what does
single
Marlin
time that we
say
keep
about
turning
traveling
back.
in the night? Let's see what Marlin says about traveling right in this area at night. And if he thinks it'd be best to travel in the day or the night since he knows this area. So let's check with him. Marlin, what do you think? Is it better to travel at night or day?
Usually it's better to travel during the day so you could, if anything's coming at you, at least you could see it. But
Zed just
Right.
kind
I
of like
also-
it
sits,
sounded like
sits
y'all's
back
dealt
down
with
and
all the
shakes his
dangerous
head.
things, so we could go at night if y'all's handled it.
I also do remember there was a period of time where Neovara, Sari, and I went back to the wagon because we were ready to go, and you, Zed, along with Kozik and Opal, wanted to continue to explore. So you have not been that concerned about leaving.
Suspicious.
Maybe we don't need to worry about
Wait,
all that so
what?
much, eh?
This was earlier, before we we were in the cave-in and we had gotten free. There was a period of time where we were exploring the cave, and Niavara, Sari, and I had suggested going back to the wagon to leave. And you did not want to at that time.
You
You
were talking
wanted to
about
keep exploring.
you
I
were
didn't
talking
know that
about
we were
when
keeping score. Okay. I
No,
you're
see.
talking about when you had
no,
the
we're not
option to
keeping
get to
score. What we are
Kyrie.
talking about is that Zed did not want to leave. This was before we knew about Kyrie. This was before we had seen the portal. This was before we had spoken to the Obsidian Lord. This was when the cave just appeared as if it was a cave with many monsters. This was before Gumdra had shattered the mirror.
Ooh, Gum turns away at the mention of that.
You have not been that concerned about leaving until now.
All right. So if we aren't leaving at eventide, then where are we spending the night? Right here in situ, or do we find some other cave or some sort of overhang to rest under? Or maybe sing folkish songs around the campfire?
Is the problem with everybody? I mean, we're almost there, one day away. And now we're just blaming each other for what I don't even understand.
I think we're just making conversation at the campfire, just whittling the day, right?
Well, it's probably not super easy conversation as Sari is kind of pinging away with her hammer and such.
And Mon and Opal are still affixing the wagon, are working diligently.
Has
And I
anybody got
keep
any
handing
chalk?
them little fasteners as I make them.
Like anybody got chalk or anything to write with? Or a big stick we could draw on the snow?
Let me see here. I rummage in my pack.
You
A
could take a
stick?
big stick from the limbs of the tree.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a tree.
Yeah. All right, I'll snap off a branch. I'm just gonna draw like triangles and be like, "Hey, little dragon, forget your name. Come here. I'll teach you something that's worth knowing."
Oh, okay.
Earth, no.
Little one
Okay.
I
excitedly
love how
and
little one's always
curiously
game for anything.
flutters over.
Okay. That's called risk equation. Risk total is equal to risk threat plus risk environment, right? So consider the geometry of our predicament. And before we rush headlong into the shadows at nighttime, to move now is to trade a calculated risk for an unpredictable one. You follow? And in this gloom, our velocity is halved and our footfalls are doubled in volume, and the terrain itself is more certain executioner than any prowling
Exactly.
giant monsters punching blood into mountains. Mathematically, unless we're certain our position's compromised, the probability of an encounter while stumbling blindly through the brush is exponentially higher than if we remain still and recovered and hidden. We don't need to outrun a threat, we
Exactly.
just have to outlast it. So if we camp, we sharpen our steel and we move at first light when the variables are in our favor. You should go teach your daddy this.
Beautiful.
He seems to be following along surprisingly and unexpectedly well.
Perfect.
So, what you're saying is it's better to travel during the day?
Yes, sir.
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
I just wanted to do it as an intellectual kind of way, right? Because some people like to argue, and I like to argue back.
Oh, I noticed.
And little one floats back over to Zed and lands on his shoulder.
They say it's better to travel during the day, but they use a lot of words. And didn't follow it first, but I'm smart.
And he taps his little head.
And they're variables, and the basically better you see and more prepared you are, less likely bad stuff happen.
And he nods and like he just nods like, yep.
Zed just gives a nod back.
And little one will yell over to Gundra from Zed's shoulder.
He gets it.
And then does like a thumbs up.
She's gonna give him one back, right? No child left behind, I always say.
So the question now is, are you guys gonna try and set up a camp while Marlin and Opal do their work? Or long rest
And
or short rest
Sorry's
or
helping.
well, if sorry helps, then you would not get the benefits of a rest.
Well, I suppose I could get all done with making the fasteners so that I don't take that away from us.
So what's the group decision? Set up camp long rest, set up temporary camp short rest, travel through, well, it sounds
Did we have a long rest the last few times?
I'm
Has
gonna
there
be
been a long
real.
rest?
I'm gonna be real. I've been burning spells like crazy. I could use a long rest.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah, if we're here for the long haul, let's set up the campsite.
I vote whatever Mr. Zed says.
I
I'm
have
fine with
5
the
spell
rest.
slots left.
Yeah, I could take first watch. Not really tired.
I can take second watch.
I'll take third.
all right. And as you guys are
Gladly.
saying this, Marlin's like, all right, well, I think we got most of the parts we need to get this going, so how about we settle in that little cubby over there? I get a tarp going and we'll just keep this work going. Don't worry, old Marlin's got the stamina of a bull. And you see him, as he says this, he pulls out a drink that looks like it has a wing like motif on it, and he just chugs it in one go.
Red Bull has wings.
Which alcove? This one that we're like near or over
Oh,
there?
this one.
Not the first time old Marlin's pulled an all-nighter. Not the last time. And, Opal and Marlin will, be pulling like the logs over, basically just sort of like setting up. But there will be a brief like break from the the fastening of things, and like it kind of looks like Marla's gonna take a few minutes to set up a tarp that covers this like whole area. Yeah, you'd have a tarp for that. Yep. And he kind of like fastens like it down to like some rock with a little bit of what do they call it? Not pinions. Pitons. Like he has some like pitons that he like fastens the bits of the tarp down, and in case of like wind and what have you. So it's pretty well covered. And then he just goes right back to, and after a couple of minutes, he sort of has an extra pep to his step after chugging that beverage. And if anybody wants to get an idea of what this beverage is, can give me a history check.
Wait, we're going over there to camp.
Yep, because it's a nice little cubby to tuck away in, defensible, one way in, one way out. It's kind of how
And
he.
the wagon's over there now too? Okay,
Yep.
I guess I'm done with my fire then. Because that wouldn't be very much fun to
Well,
stay over there.
I could imagine that weren't you were making some coals, so or like charring some wood. You could scoop up some coals and like basically bring the fire over there.
Yeah, I could bring the fire over there to start a new fire. I'll just bring some coals over and
Mhm.
start a new fire.
Pull in here. That.
Should I put a fire in the middle of the camp? I mean, it is kind of cool.
But tarp is high enough that you don't have to worry about the fire catching. Because he had to climb just a little bit to attach to like the walls sections, so it's got some elevation, and you won't have to worry about smoke inhalation because it's not airtight. And okay, so who was taking which watch?
Zed's first, I'm second, and I think Kozik was third.
Vel took
Or was
third.
it Bell? Bell, yeah.
And what's Niavara doing? Still over there. Is it Niavara o'clock? I think it is. Whoop. All right. So you would hear, the work getting done throughout the day as you guys are taking a midday nap, as one might say.
Oh, I thought it was night. Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like you guys wanted to sleep during the day so you could travel at night,
No, I
right?
totally missed that. I thought we were going
Yeah,
with
no,
what
I thought we were sleeping at night so we could travel during the day.
Oh, okay,
exactly. We're
gotcha.
going with what what's his name said.
Clarification. Okay, so
I guess we had made camp, and Marlon's working on the wagon, and so maybe for the rest of the day we had kind of moved everything over to this spot and kind of got things set up. Got the tent set up, got the the fire started again, and probably helped with a bit of maintenance with the wagon, uh, just to take up the rest of that day.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Had a
Okay.
meal. Who had the coin? The meal would have been nice.
Well, I would say day turns to evening as Marlon and Opal work tirelessly, and Zed would be the first one on watch, giving me perception.
All right. So yeah, he's sitting out across from the camp here.
And with an 18, the only thing you
Shall
hear
we build
is
a little fire for Zed?
the rustling wind. Probably some birds flying overhead. Not even like very common. Probably just like once. But beyond that, nothing really seems to stand out. You don't hear any thundering footsteps. You don't hear any shambling zombies. You don't hear any sneaky snacks. All is well. You don't hear any alarms going off. A rather uneventful little tidbit of a rest.
How big is this like rock
That's easily
formation?
taller than the other one, so that one's like 20 feet. 20 feet
Okay.
up.
Okay. So from so he just got nothing. It just seems calm, quiet.
Yep, uneventful.
Okay. Is Kozik standing where he is on the map?
I mean, more or less, I intended
guess,
to be
like-
right about there.
You're not in the tent sleeping? Or in the lean-to or whatever it is?
No, not necessarily. I mean,
How are you going to get your rest?
He might be slumped up just under
I'm
the stars.
resting.
Who was second watch?
I'm second watch. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. So Kozik, if Kozik is resting just right outside, hopefully he doesn't feel it so that it doesn't wake him up. But Zed's Raven is gonna kind of perch on his shoulder, and Zed's gonna move right over here, just kind of to the other side of this opening to the camp that we have here, and he's gonna kind of slump down, probably, like wrap up a little bit. Or wait, hold on. He's gonna go get. Sorry, he's gonna walk
Right.
in. Kind of like tiptoe past Bessie and Niavara, trying to be quiet. He'll look over and see Marlin and Opal. Hopefully, they've gotten a whole bunch of work done. He'll glance over at Gum just to see if she's potentially asleep or maybe somewhat restless, and then Zed will kind of like lean down and tap Sorry.
Right.
Taps
Gotcha.
armor, but and then realizes, oh, that's maybe not enough. So he kind of like does a little bit of a shake.
It still doesn't wake her up, so you do a DDT and suplex. Wake up!
Yeah. Right.
Well, she's just meditating, so he knows he's right there, and she knows he's right there. Right. I
Hey.
got you, Zed. Oh,
All right.
I did that
Yeah.
thing
Arrow
again.
keys.
Good.
Clever enough.
Arrow keys.
I'm gonna be sitting just right over here. And yeah, he'll then slump down just kind of right outside, opposite of Kozik. Kind of knees up. He's got his cloak maybe like wrapped around his knees, so he just looks like a little bundle.
Darkwing ducking it. All right.
Yeah.
So sorry. You have a special case.
Uh-oh.
Give me an insight.
Okay. Special case, huh?
Good, good, good. So you settle down and you start looking around and keeping an eye out, to which you don't really notice anything. Like it's as quiet as as quiet as it can be while people are working on a wagon. But with a 16, you definitely get, and it's almost like it's not like a physical poke. It's not even really like a mental poke per se, but it's more like a sixth sense kind of situation where you just get this like, I guess, shiver or energy or tinge like down your spine, like something happened, but you don't know what. You don't really know where. It's just kind of like, when you're just sort of sitting around and just left to your thoughts, and just out of nowhere, your brain just goes, "What the fuck?" for like no reason.
Yeah.
You kind of get one of those, but you're looking around and there doesn't seem to be anything happening here. There doesn't seem to be any physical change. The temperature hasn't changed. It's just sort of like a sixth sense. And you can give me a history check.
History check. Ah,
Yeah, you're not sure like where to place it or what meaning or value it has. But you like something happened somewhere in the world, and you're just not sure. I don't know, maybe your brain is doing stuff.
But
Uh,
I don't feel like we're being watched or like there's something right around us or
Nope,
anything.
does not seem to be anything in your vicinity.
Okay.
And
So I
with
recognize
a
this.
9, you're not even necessarily sure, what you felt is even real or valid. Like you're kind of questioning it, kind of like a double take, and you look back and you don't see anything. Not physically, but just the mental, the mental double take. Like, oh, I just had a weird feeling, and then you're just like looking around, and you're thinking about it. It's like I can't think of, maybe I'm going crazy, kind of situation.
Okay. But I mean, Sari's she's pretty intuitive and psychic, so she kind of trusts it meant something. She just doesn't know what.
If it meant anything, or if it actually was anything.
Okay.
But beyond that, nothing happens on your watch.
Okay, so I'm gonna go get Belle. Hey, Belgium. Vale, wake up, bud.
Yes, I'm up.
All right. It's your turn. I had a weird split second of something weird, but I don't think it's anything. I couldn't see anything or whatnot, but I don't know. Keep your eyes out.
Another way to probably describe it is imagine having like a really strong like deja vu, but it's not necessarily like deja vu. It's a sixth sense kind of situation in a more contemporary experience.
Right.
A spidey sense.
Just pay
Yeah.
attention, cause something. I don't know, but I didn't see any evidence of anything. But I felt strange for a minute.
All right, well, get rest, and if anything happens, I will get the rope.
All right, come right back over here if anything. Yeah.
And first thing Veldrin does during his watch is he takes off the necklace that has been keeping things from tracking him, because that has been the thing barring the Fae that's been trying to contact him from getting through. And he's going to loop it around Neovara's neck again.
Hmm.
And then he's actually going to step out from the camp a little bit. He's going to chill out there. But
There's a fire right there.
yeah, there's a fire out there. But I mean, he's like away from the pile of people sleeping. And
Yeah.
something that Temporalis had said to him was that maybe all of this it has to do with a god, and he's somewhat familiar with the lore of good old Eilis Jai, and that specifically she asks the drow to dance in the starlight. And so Veldrin, who has been incredibly familiar to this point with court dances and not so much like dancing on your own, is going to try dancing and just see if she responds at all.
So you're basically dancing in the moonlight.
Hmm.
So let's start off with a performance.
Please tell me that Zed's Raven
Ooh.
is watching this.
Who's watching?
I said, please tell me Zed's Raven is watching this.
How can Zed's Raven not watch it? And what's your
Yeah, with the nat 20.
Yeah. And also, the second part of this is give me a religion. And since that's, well, I mean, you got a token, so.
Also, somebody can take that inspiration because I have one.
All right, I'll have it.
Well,
Thank you.
before you
alone.
dole out an inspiration, you have an option. Would you like to consume the inspiration and maybe see if something cool can happen?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So, between your natural 20 performance and your religion of 17, it's almost like you're trying to you're the equivalent of worshiping a goddess and seeing if there's a response. And with your performance, it is actually what does your dance look like?
I imagine
Is
it's
it just
very
twerking?
stiff. I imagine it's very stiff and awkward because, like, he had
Do
done
night.
partner dancing in courts before this, and so he's never really solo danced.
Well, he did a good job because you got a natural 20.
It's the best. It's the best robot this side of the Mississippi.
All right. So with that and that, you're basically like worshiping a goddess who, you know, some drow revere, some, you know, some love, some hate, depending on your perspective in drow culture. You know, the betrayer, as some might say. Um, your performance is captivating. It's like because you say like the best robot, but I've watched a lot of you know that I've been on the YouTube shorts. So I've been seeing a lot of like the robot dances and like the what's it called, like free dance or something like that. Um so that can be very captivating.
Jokingly, I linked the one from Major Pain.
Yep.
At the beginning of the scene, he looks at the girl he's on a date with, and he goes, "Let me cut a little rug," and then proceeds to do that.
Yep. And with that religion and the spent resource to potentially have something cool happen. So you recall, thinking back to things, you recall Cha and his relationship with Illustre and the experiences that he's had in worshiping that goddess, and the, you know, maybe every so often in the rare occurrence that he would see a woman, you know, off in the distance, because she's usually depicted as nude, but an elven woman off in the distance that appears and disappears. And despite this harsh, cold, relatively dead environment, which to some degree, you know, not too far off from where you came from, um, you swear that you could see the very faint hint, and you have to double take, and it does kind of interrupt your performance a little bit, but you and you alone could swear that you could see what looks like a shadow or a silhouette that at this point it's moonlight, but a shadow that seems to move with an unearthly motion that kind of almost fills you with like, actually, how I wonder how Belgian would experience this. It's a feeling that you would not have felt for a very long time, if ever, because you have previously worshipped a deity of, you know, evil, right? Because you worshipped Lolth. This is the polar opposite feeling. You're filled with energy. You feel like you can dance the night away. You feel as if you you could dance the world away right now, and you are into it. And yeah, your movements may be stiff, but when you're boogieing down, you lock in, and you have never felt this locked in before in your entire life. Almost give, you know, if now I'll leave it at that. Yeah, you just feel invigorated, and it was upon seeing this kind of shadow, which you probably just, you know, most people would brush it off as like, you know, it's just some snow moving or the wind carrying something or some small creature roaming, but it was definitely larger than a small creature, and it was definitely moving with a grace and elegance that goes well beyond anything you've ever seen or experienced. So and your religion would, yeah, your religion wasn't necessarily to know what it was per se, but the experience of it might convey some very important information. A holy experience, one might say. One might say.
Is this presence still there, or was it like just for a little bit?
It was for but a moment.
Okay.
Very akin to what Cha would have probably conveyed in his few and far between experiences with this kind of thing. And it's definitely a very personal experience, to say the least.
Oh yeah, he is very. Veldrin used to be one of Lolth's loyalist little soldiers. So he's like, it's definitely a feeling that he has felt before, but in a new way.
And so, as far as like the differences, um, when you worshipped Lolth, it always felt like distant. It always felt detached. Like, the experience he had with Lolth always felt far reaching, kind of like experiencing life through 3 layers of gloves. And this one
There,
was like raw, it was primal, it was immediate, it was
there was a
almost there.
book that I read that it was about a paladin whose god had died, and the comparison was when his god was alive and he felt like in contact with his god, it felt like being bathed in golden light and like filled with warmth and power, versus when his god had died, it felt like getting dunked in cold water and it felt like horrible and bad. So this is Veldrin who has known the dunking in the cold water his whole life, getting to experience that like the warmth and the golden light.
Indeed.
When he's done dancing, he doesn't know like if she's still listening. When you are ready, I would like to talk. I have many questions. I'm not promising worship in the long term, but I would like to be able to open a dialogue.
Whether or not that was heard, you're uncertain.
I love that you're the little nobody, like offering terms to this goddess. I'm not
Veldrin
saying.
Veldrin was also told that he has the potential to become a god. So he has a little
Mhm.
bit of he can throw his hat in the ring a little bit.
Yeah, but still, it's funny. It's ironic.
However, beyond that, it seems to be an uneventful circumstance.
And with the rest of his watch, he's gonna sit down and read.
Back around the campfire.
And
So who was the next in watch?
this
Oh,
was
that
third
was it.
watch.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
That was third watch.
All right.
And now Niavar's probably getting up to do her thing.
I think Neovar conked out.
I think
I
she has.
apologize dearly.
That's okay. We were just watching while you were sleeping.
You missed out on Veldrin dancing.
No, real life stuff is unfortunate. Real life busyness. Real life. I even have like had an energy drink to try and stay awake in it and said I think it just made myself fall asleep. Sorry.
Well,
Aw.
luckily, it's morning time, and Neovar gets to do her usual morning routine.
Ah. The morning prayer, the morning ritual. Morning make sure I have spells.
You also were asleep, but Veldrin, when he got up for his watch, took off the necklace that was keeping him from getting tracked and put it back around Neovara's neck.
Neovara would have protested. The lady doth protest, indeed. She did not actually wear it herself. She kept it in her bag because she doesn't want Lady Miriam tracking her either.
Well, Veldrin's excuse for getting rid of it is that Fae that he made a deal with
Wants to
has come
contact her.
calling, and this is the way to open that door.
So she put it in her bag instead because nah. Mm-mm. I am in fact going to be weird and put it back in the bag right after he put it around her neck. Like, good luck with your guy. I'm going to remain under Fae's anonymous. The only Fae who knows my location is me. Okay. Morning prayers, though. Everything has gone tits up. We're still in the fucking cave, yes?
No, we're just in a little
The alcove.
cove over here. In the alcove with the lean-to kind of tent thing, and the wagon's all mended, and we're gonna have a nice day of travel.
So,
Okay.
We're hoping.
question. As far as how familiars work, Zed was asleep, but his familiar was watching the entire thing that happened. Is that something that his familiar could then translate to him? Or is that just kind of a one-off experience
So familiars
since he
typically
wasn't
don't
watching?
require food, sleep, or water. So, because they're basically a spell.
Yeah.
Whereas like an animal companion would be something that needs to like sleep and food, I believe, unless they change that. Now I'm curious. But yeah, familiars typically don't need to sleep, or they're active spells. So
Right. But so my familiar was awake and basically watching Belle go through all the dancing and all of that. Is that something that my familiar I don't know how familiars work in the sense of does my familiar remember that and then tell me about that in the morning when I wake up potentially, or is that just kind of a
so
one-off thing that if I wasn't watching through my familiar's eyes, I just missed it?
you can give me a history check for the familiar. Its intelligence
Okay.
is 5.
So is that a negative?
Yep, that's a -3.
Oh my, wait, so I'm rolling from history from the familiar?
It's a history based on your familiar because you're asking if your familiar would be
Okay.
able to remember the event, and history is based on intelligence, and intelligence is usually based on how
Yeah.
well you can recall information.
Fair enough. Rolled from the Raven. That's a 15.
So yeah, it would remember. It would have seen
Interesting.
Beldrin dance, and it would be able to convey
Okay.
that to you.
Okay. So I guess yeah, like as we're all waking up, Zed's Raven's gonna fly from Kozik's shoulder back over to Zed. And what? I guess it's kind of a telepathic sort of communication.
Telepathic image projection.
Cool. All right.
I mean, it didn't see anything else. It just saw Veldrin's
Yeah.
boogieing.
Didn't hear or any. Yeah, it was just visual. I just find it funny that Zed potentially got to see Beldrin dance.
Veldrin who deliberately left camp so no one could watch him.
Yeah, and it was like while everyone was asleep, and it was just like a certain thing. It would probably one off, never happen again, and so just the mental imagery, and yeah, Zed is waking up and getting this information, and might be looking around. I don't know who all's is directly around, but he might have a look on his face like, I know something that no one else knows.
Oh, I don't like that look on your face. By the way, the Trinity, the two that she's actually prayed to are the Devourer for nature and getting across a brain is not one to find the word.
Oh yeah,
A
thank you.
dangerous natural path.
Thank you for reminding me. Somebody roll a d20 and let's see what the weather's like today.
Treacherous. Mountain pass.
Nope. Clear skies.
And then the other one is the Traveler, of course. And then, if she sees Veldrin come up to her, she's like, is it strange if you're praying to yourself? Like, is that just, self-affirmations?
I mean, that's if it's even who you want to become.
Well, it's who I need to be in order to, her
Is it who you need
spells.
to be, or is it who you think you need to be?
Okay, stone shape was useful. Let's see. Like, she's rifling through her powers. Is there anything that I did that I didn't? I'm not gonna pick Augurate, not use that one in a little while. Enough first level spells that I push up. Let's instead pick a third level spell.
All right.
Actually, a fourth level.
So while you're rifling through your spells, everybody's awake. Marlin is just finishing up the finishing touches. Like he seemed like he was working through the night, and you'd see a couple of cans of that, whatever that wing represents. Looks like he chugged a couple of them overnight. And as he sees everybody stirring from their restful, from their restful evening, he claps his hands together and goes, "Well, it looks like we did it. Got the wagon all fixed up and ready to get on out of here. Giddy up."
Oh, that's great. Well, here we come. Finally.
And then he'll look over to Opal, and they do the Predator Arnie, and the handshake, the bro shake. All right. All I need is a couple of minutes to get old Bessie hooked up, and we can be right on our way. Aren't y'all excited? We're so close.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could start tapping on these walls, see if there's some kind of secret like hole or tunnel system behind it,
Or if we can get an avalanche going, that'd be real nice.
right? Maybe we could talk to some rock people.
I think it's time to get to Chronosis finally.
I just don't see what's
Nope,
all the
be
hurry to
careful
get
saying
there.
that.
Right?
You don't
Yep,
want to be.
yep.
Yeah, you don't want to be rushing too much.
Well, I think Gum's already messing with our fate.
Yep, I think we've worn out our welcome here. We should get going quick as we can.
I'm ready to get in the cart.
Yeah. I'm certainly tired of, wandering around endless, uninhabited,
Oh,
very
that made the
creepy
point.
mine caverns. Like, I'll be real. I love caves. What? Look at me. Vel, you love caves too. We both, but like that's an unnatural cave. Ain't shit there. Where's evidence of drow or the under dwarves? Or God forbid the little gnomes. Where are they? They're not there. It's just empty. Creepy. That's evidence of bullshit. Something's there.
All right, I
Something's
take
hungry.
offense to that one.
Yeah, that was kind of rude.
Oh. A big empty cavern system?
No, the marks after that.
I'm saying in the cavern system. Where are the people who live there?
I mean, the rocks were pretty alive.
I forgot you
The
drow
rocks.
and dwarves live under rocks, don't you?
Yes, we live
that-
in rock.
It's not the
That's
Underdark
Yep.
for nothing.
Lift
It's
up any
not.
rock and you may find one.
Zed's gonna glance over to Vel and just do. It's gonna be very as nonchalant as he can, but he's gonna do a slight movement that Vel did when he was dancing. He's
He
gonna,
like holds his arm out and dangles it.
He's gonna like make eye contact. Yeah, because Zed's goofy as shit. He does weird stuff all the time. But yeah, he's gonna make eye contact and deliberately do a move that Vel did while dancing.
Oh, that's mean.
Just not, but it's gonna be again. It's not gonna be like he's not gonna go into a dance. It's just gonna be like
Appreciatively.
yeah, well, an acknowledging sort of thing of like,
I saw what you did.
yeah. Do you want me to do? Do you want me to do performance potentially or deception maybe?
I'd probably say Veldrin. I mean, you know what
Maybe
you know what they
deception.
did, and they know what you're
Yeah.
doing.
I'm thinking maybe because I'm not trying to make it obvious to anyone else.
Doing
I
a
want
little
that more of a
Zell
stretch.
to
stealth?
know.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between stealth or deception. Um, let's see. Hold on. Let's read
He's doing this
deception.
in
Your
front of everybody,
charisma.
right?
Yeah.
No, he's
I'm
trying
doing
to
this
do
in
it
front of
Stealth.
everyone.
Stealth.
Deception check determines what you can convincingly hide the truth, either verbally or through actions. This deception can encompass everything from misleading others through ambiguity to telling an outright lies. Typical situations include trying to fast talk a guard, con a merchant, earn money through gambling, pass yourself off in a disguise, dull someone's suspicions with false assurances, or maintain a straight face while telling a blatant lie. And stealth.
I don't think he's doing deception.
What about sleight of hand?
I kind of feel like deception does make sense in a way. I'm not
No,
trying
because you're not
to
trying to trick
deceive.
anybody
Well, I'm
or
not trying to
deceive anybody.
deceive the rest of the group, but I am
Right. So
trying to
Mislead.
yes,
you're
like
not as
He's
concerned
have
with
it.
us as much as you are with like letting Veldrin know, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, well,
you're
no,
just
what
trying to
he
be
wants
Yeah.
stealthy around the other people, so that
I would
only
say is
Veldrin
like
sees
a
it.
sleight of hand is like was like
yeah,
you're
he
trying to be
doesn't
slick
want to
about it.
clue he doesn't
Well, what
want to
does
clue
stealth
the
say?
others in on that he knows what Veldrin did.
Yeah.
Mhm. But
It's
I
like
want to make it
effectively
very obvious to Veldrin that
He knows what he did.
Zed knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
So what does
whatever's appropriate.
stealth
I
You let me
think
say?
know.
I think
I'll
deception
roll.
because deception it's kind of like as I said, like a little bit of ambiguity towards everybody else, but you
I'm
like I said,
doing
the intent is to
something.
somebody, but with it being
Yeah.
masked.
I'm doing something in the presence of, 5 other people that I want one person to get the message and I want no one else to perceive it. So deception does kind of make sense.
Similar to
To me,
Thieves' Camp.
stealth does, but it doesn't matter.
A little bit to Thieves' Cant. Yeah. Kind of.
Somebody who doesn't have thieves
Um,
can't.
But okay. So that's a 12.
Oh,
Everyone
maybe you should try
knows.
stealth.
Actually, it's higher than 12. Right?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, that's a 16.
he's like, don't worry, this is gonna be between you and me, Vel.
You and me and Eilis Jai.
And in
Well,
actuality,
nobody else will
it's
know what the hell you're
between
doing because nobody else saw it. So, you don't have to be that good.
I mean, nobody had reason to suspect, right? It's
You
he's
saw, I
making
guess,
movements that are very
yeah,
specific
it's like
and
you
very
see Zed do
targeted.
something and you just don't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
More or less.
exactly.
If that's how that tracks
If we even notice.
with a 16. Yeah.
Veldrin definitely saw. He did not react at all.
cool as a cucumber.
Because I imagine that, like, when Veldrin doesn't want other people to know something, he is very good at playing blank. Because growing up at the society that he did, playing blank is a great asset.
But yeah, other than that, Zed's not going to push anymore or try and get any other reaction. That was just
I think, like, Veldrin would make eye contact with him, but otherwise that's it.
It's red.
Inside, though, he's like, fuck!
Busted. All right. So you guys all, hop on the wagon who hops on it. Walk alongside whoever walks alongside it.
Mhm.
And it is morning, so y'all's got a whole day's worth of travel. And I need to make one final A rarity. Nothing happens. Okay.
I think it's good if we try to end on time because I'm thinking about
Yep. I
people
know.
that are staying up late.
I am watching the time. So you guys continue. And yep, nothing. So yeah, you guys continue throughout the day. There is no complication, no random encounters, as one might say. And as you make your way through the frosty, cold mountain, oh, I gotta pull this up. You would start to see there's a little bit of a break in the snow where it seems like the snow and the ice, all these layers are starting to thin out. I gotta move the camera. There. It feels like the temperature's, it's picking up a little bit. It's still cold. It's still high altitude. But it's also morning, so there's that too. And the day continues from morning to around noonish, where there's definitely a lull in the snow. There's pretty much like no ice at this point, so it now is just like a snow covering, snow layers, and there comes a point where you're starting to. It looks like you're going through a tunnel, and very akin to some of the other tunnels where it's just like you go in, there's like a little bit of a winding path. It's underground, but it's only really briefly. And you start to see at this point you come to like a couple of breaks in the path, like left, right, intersections kind of thing. And you start to notice these the kind of like a motif of sorts embedded in the stone where it seems like actual hewn road traveled past that can be traveled and traversed. So the very faint hint of society, as one could maybe ascertain through the architecture. um and this tunnel, and it's kind of like this tunnel sort of empties out or exits to a valley of sorts. And as you're standing atop this apex, this top of a mountain, this exiting point, and you're looking down, you see this vast city.
Ooh.
Off in the distance.
Wow, after all this time.
With winding roads that take on serpentine aspects, almost like walking on the back of a giant snake, or as you guys have experienced, something draconic. It is a decently sized location, and you see all sorts of flying creatures. You see people, you have to squint and look off in the distance, but you see people. There are people roaming about, and you realize that something this big, this has got to be Chronosis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of that moment cresting the hill in a movie where the camera pans up and it conveys like this scene of society, of people, of flying things off in the distance, people walking along these winding serpentine roads, and it's all amassed in like trees, which is something that previously you guys have experienced very little of. So there's habitation here, there's growth, there's life. And as you look upon this massive city, you know, you kind of think about the journey that led here and all the interactions that have gotten us from point A to point B. And at this point, you guys are arriving around evening. So it's the sun is starting to go down, but you're still getting this scene.
Wow.
I think
Well, that's
Zed
something.
is just, as we kind of like get this view finally, he's awestruck. Just he's visibly stunned. Almost frozen.
It's like a dwarven city, but above ground.
It's also like a drow city, but also above ground.
It's almost
Kind
like
of
it's a
maybe like a
city.
dragon city, but above
Above
ground.
ground.
It's almost like a
almost
kobold city.
It's almost like it's a city.
What? That's crazy.
And they always look better from a distance.
And
But in there are amazing things, including that library we've been wanting to visit, and maybe some astral ships.
and you definitely know this to be your location because you had a vision of this before when you were, on your when you were about to teleport to it. So this was your destination before.
Mhm.
So you know
Oh,
this is where
shit.
you want to be.
Okay.
There's no
So
question.
that adds into the stupor, I guess, the sort of stunned nature that Zed is. He, to that point, when we teleported, it was kind of based on his vision where we were trying to go, and he messed up. And that's what sent us off, and it fell through the sky. And so to get here, there's some sort of reconciliation of like, okay, we finally made it. Yeah, he's very enamored in this moment.
And then a trapdoor opens beneath you and you fall into the underdark. Just kidding.
Yay! Home at last.
Or at least completing this phase of the journey.
And that scene is where we wrap up the session.
All right.
The arrival.
The arrival. Fantastic. We've been trying to get
That-
here a long time.
What
The
what
map
was it?
looks so cool too.
What was that, Kozik?
Wasn't there some sort of no, what was it, like a yogurt hut, or what was it that we were, a cookie stand? What was it?
Oh, it was
Cider.
Granny Smith's.
An apple, a
Yeah.
pie,
Oh
The
yeah,
Apple
that
Cider
Gum was
Shack?
talking about. Gum was
a
talking about.
cider
Yeah.
shack, a yogurt hut, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
The cider. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
The
we'll see
You remember
about
cider.
that.
Gumdra?
I hardly even know her.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what all we get into in the city here.
Oh my God, so many opportunities, right? So many crazy things. There's got to be a bar fight somewhere.
First thing Sari wants to do, get into a bar fight.
Well, she wants to have a drink and inevitably ends in a bar fight.
Exactly. We can, yeah. I think Zed and Sari are probably gonna find their way to
Yeah, yeah. The first fun-looking bar, tavern, whatever.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks. That was awesome. Thanks, Cute.
yeah, this was good. It was a lot of fun. And just the image of this, I don't know, I'm looking at this picture and it's so cool.
Wait, the only thing I'm seeing
Yeah,
is
I
a bunch
agree.
of clouds. Is there something else?
The city
Not-
and the mountains
city.
and the roads.
You're not seeing
I don't see the
oh,
city. I just see a bunch of clouds going. Oh man, I don't see it. I just see there's a bunch of clouds going.
hold on. No, you have to see this.
Oh crap. Why do I only see
Foundry being
clouds?
Foundry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just hers hasn't loaded
Yeah,
in.
because there's something there. It's clouds, you know.
Is there an image off on the side that you can zoom in or zoom out on? Because
No,
the cloud
it's like
effects just
There are cloud
happen.
effects, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I've just got
Which is
this big
funny.
old
That's rendering
cloud
like
effect.
the cloud effects, but not the image itself.
Right.
Oh, so does the clouds go with the image
They're separate.
The cloud effects are like an overlay on just
on the
whatever's
image?
happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so then I'm just getting the overlay then. Well, that kind of sucks.
Well, somebody could probably take a
Well,
screenshot.
hopefully next time
Mhm.
I sent you a screenshot of it.
yeah, oh please do. That'd be awesome.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. We can
Yeah,
do
it's in
that.
your DMs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Love to see what y'all are seeing.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Check your
Oh,
messages.
you did? Message.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And you can see how the
wow.
roads, like what he was talking about, how they're serpentine,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
But then picture like the cloud
Wow.
effects, like misting over all of this.
Yeah, that's
Because you can kind of see it at the
stunning.
bottom, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
It looks so
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome.
Wow. Love the serpentine roads.
Okay, right on, guys. Well, let's.
Yeah,
let's
everyone have a
start.
great night.
Yep. Thanks for D&D.
Yeah. See you
GG.
next
Thank you for
week.
D&D.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
All right. And with that, wrap up the session. All right. Well, that was fun. I had fun. That was neat. Let's see. Do. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. That was episode 155, The Arrival. Yeah, so we do this announcement time. So we do this every Tuesday at 7:30/7:40 Pacific, and I just now realized how blurry that image is. I gotta fix that. That looks so much cleaner on my end than when I look at it in the stream. Anyway, yeah, so we do this at 7:40-ish, 7:30, 7:40-ish every Tuesday, p.m. Pacific for inquiring minds. For those of you on the Yubles Tubles, we do this over on Twitch TV/Cubed222. I typically do variety games. I'd binge games too. But you know, usually we fire up at 6 o'clock Pacific, but D&D, scheduling, so we make do what people's schedules can accommodate for. And yeah. So the plan tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific, back to the variety old gameronies. And yeah. Aside from that, I wish you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And next time we'll be picking up with them pretty much entering the city of Chronosis that they have been working diligently to get to after a teleportation oopsie doodle that has sizably extended how quickly it was going to take to get here. But they're here, and that's what matters. And they're gonna be experiencing some of that there chronosis. But that's next time. So with that, I'm gonna dipperoni and cheese, call it the evening, and bid you all a farewell. At least until next time. Yeah. So with that, I'm a dip. Have a good one. Party on. And try not to split the party. And if you do, finger guns. Good luck. All right, y'alls. Have a good one. Later.